Welcome everyone, it's Fury here. Today I'm gonna be showing you how to create a multiplayer server and the game in general based on the first-person shooter project. I know I haven't been doing these tutorials for a while. It's not that I give up on this or anything like this. It's just the fact that I'm busy as fuck. I'm pretty much working 7 days a week, working on one of the project with my team, and also working on the AI Fury and UI Fury at the same time. So it's quite a lot of work. We finally found a few minutes to record this video, so let's get straight into this. So first of all, we're gonna just create simple first-person shooter template, C++. Let's call it multiplayer tutorial. Well, I'm not sure how many parts of the tutorial will be, but definitely not one, because there's a couple of things to show, and really, it's probably not gonna be the best choice to create just one 2 hour long video or something like this. So I just click Reveal in Explorer, so it points us to the folder where our project is. This is just a very simple. Why the hell do I have? Oh, sorry, because this folder was here before. Okay, this is just a simple, uh, absolutely empty project. Okay, completely empty. First-person shooter. So I'm just gonna go straight and generate solution. Uh, it's gonna be quite complicated, I think. I mean, not all of these parts, but some of them will be quite complicated, and would be cool if you already know a little thing about a little bit about the object-oriented C++. Also, watch my previous videos if you haven't watched it yet, because there's a couple of cool tutorials, and actually I have one tutorial on creating components, which we won't be creating components now, but the thing is that we're gonna be doing something about the components, so it's cool to know how they work. So let's get straight into this. I'm gonna just compile it on the beginning, so we're making sure that everything is fine. As I said, it's pure project, so yeah. Okay, it's compiled. I'm just gonna run the game to make sure everything is working properly. Yes, this is pure first-person shooter project, so absolutely no changes at all. This little shit over here, like. Okay, so first of all, we're gonna do, actually most of the time we're gonna be working on the player component. And what we gotta do first of all? Is we're gonna go to the player.h, and we're gonna declare and define aspect. Okay, what that is, it's actually aspects are used to hold the data that you want to send to server or receive from servers, send from server to clients or from client to server, that and they are used usually for the fluent data flow. So like movements, they have to be updated all the time pretty much. When you rotate, when you do something, it's pretty much each and every frame update. So aspects are usually, you can use it for whatever you want, but usually they're used for the large data stream. So that's just from my understanding. What that is basically a numerator that you can. This declares pretty much if you want to send it from the client to server. If it's these types like dynamic and static, they have something to do with the way that aspects work, but you can check it on the Crytek's website probably, or on the old book that is already outdated, but I have it here. Just give me a second. This book is called CRYENGINE Game Programming with C++, C#, and Lua. It is made by Philip Lundgren and Ruan Pierce authors, whatever. I mean, not whatever. Guys did a very good job on this book, but it's outdated already. But these aspects, these types in here are, I think it was quite detailed described there. So just take a look at this. Static game server, so we want to call it on client or on server, or send it from client to server. So we're gonna pretty much this A B C D E. It's just nothing really to be worried about, because you won't have one aspect. You want to have another aspect. For example, you're gonna be sending rotation or something else. Then you're gonna call it something different. Yeah, that's why you don't want to have all the same enumerator. I'm gonna use D, whatever. We will create something here. Just a simple comment, so we can, see our method that actually belong to the network system. We're gonna declare a couple of methods, okay? So first of all, we're gonna need bool. Alright, what this function does is basically, this is called every time when this aspect is called, it's how the in the crytext nomenclature is called. We are marking this aspect dirty, okay? So it means you call it pretty much. So whenever this or any other aspect is called, this net serialize will be called as well. This is automatically. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to call it from anywhere. This is gonna go automatically. The second function we'll need is oh shit. Okay, I'm still not sure what this method does. Oh shit. Still not sure what this method does, but I think this is just from what I can see, it's just returning the aspect. But it might do something else. I've never seen this function being called, but it probably is automatically. So just have it here. And something else. As you know, this initialize method is initializing of the player, initializing all the components and adding the basic values on the beginning of the game. But not all of these components are actually server components. Some of them are client-only components, and we have to separate them. If you just jump to in a network, multiplayer game right now, it's gonna just disconnect you and say, hey, you are trying to use client-only server on the multiplayer game. And obviously correct, because not all of them are suitable to use over the network. So some of them are like camera component, camera just moving on your screen, nothing else moves around. So it's pretty much like only clean component. So we have to separate them. We want to have initialize for the like general initialize, and we have to have some smaller initialize. Let's do something like this. Shit. Okay, and we'll do some little method over here. Okay. Basically, this will be called, and this will be called after, but this will be called only on the client. not on server, never on server. So, but basically, we will call this function later. I'm gonna show you how. But first of all, let's get straight into this. I'm gonna create definition of it, and we also can jump here and create definition of that. So, here is the initialize function, right? This is function that is called on server and on both server and client side. If you never coded the multiplayer games, you have to change your approach. Yeah, you are not thinking anymore about this player as a single object. Obviously, it is a single object, but it's like single object on everyone's PC. There is a client side and server side, so you have to change the way you think. It's completely different approach. So first of all, from what I figured out so far, the camera component is gonna fail and disconnect you from server. This have to be only client component. So we're gonna cut it from here and put it right into local player initialize. Yeah, cool. The second function, second component that is only client component is the input component. Character controller and animation component, they all stay here, stay with these values, nothing changes. The only what changes is input component along with his binded registered blah 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 actions. So we're gonna grab all of these to this point with the input component initialization. Okay, copy here, paste in there, and so we actually paste all of it in local player initialize. So this is gonna be initialized only on the player side. This component and that component, input and camera components. So now we're gonna be able to connect to server, but no functionality whatsoever. So we have to do something else, obviously. Very important thing. Revive. What this revive method does is basically it moves you to the spawn point. This is nothing, but it physicalizes our player. And this is very, very, very important. And the reason why is because physicalization has to be done before you are bind to network. There is a method. I'm going to put it over here. Get entity, get net entity, bind to network. This actually pretty much just, as it says, every entity must be bound to network to be synchronized. That's all you need to know. The thing is that for some reasons this have to be done after physicalization. So if I put it like this, my player won't be even showing up. Okay, so whoever joins the stage, he won't be visible for you. He will be available on his own server, and you are gonna be he's gonna be visible on his own computer probably, and you are gonna be visible on your computer, but you're not gonna be able to see each other because you won't be synchronized. And this bind to network is done automatically, so you don't have to call it. It's done over here, game plugin.cpp. The only bad thing about it is that this is wrong. You have to change it slightly. Because what Crytek did is they bind it to network, and after they initialize player component. So you bind to network, and after they physicalize it by reviving. Yeah, here. So we have to change it. We have to swap them. Just cut this from here and paste it on the top. So first of all, you initialize the player component, revive it, and physicalize it. Here, physicalization, and after bind to network. So that's the way you're gonna be able to see each other. That's the one thing. Okay, let's get back into the player. Let's get to the top, and yeah, there it is. What else? We would have to actually tell the engine to pass the physics over the network and enable the aspects. Shit. Okay. As it says, this should be called before bind to network by default. All of these aspects are enabled, so yeah. From my understanding, the function's pretty much just initializing possibility of aspects being marked dirty. So this has to be on the top always before this happens. Bind to network. So first of all, you initialize, all this stuff happens, and then bind to network. Okay. So we've done that. We're gonna go into our net serialize function. You remember that one? I'm gonna copy and paste it without, writing everything over. I'm gonna explain what that is. Pretty much aspect. This, as I said, this function is always called when any aspect is marked dirty, which means that any aspect is called, then this function will be called to send values over the network. Sorry, that one's mine. So basically, it checks, because you can have multiple aspects, not just this one. Yeah, you can have more of them doing other things. At least I have just one, so there's a simple instruction for it. Conditional aspect. If aspect is our key movement aspect, then begin group. We can call it, whatever you want. This might seem complicated for newbies. This is beat, swapping beats and stuff like this, managing beats in general. But that's the only kind of difficult looking thing within the whole network system, because the way it works, basically when you press move left, move forward, right, backward or forward, whatever, it does not push player forward. First of all, what it does, because otherwise, just think about it. If you press W and then you press right arrow or left, like D or A, it's gonna be very confusing. So how they resolve this is handle input flag change. What this method does. Don't worry if you hear my dogs, then just don't worry about them. Okay, what this does, basically you press W, S, A or D, and then those beats are assigned to the input flags whenever it's released, hold on, or pressed. So this is all handled here. Instead of sending the whole position to the server, we can just send simple flags, and server will do everything for us. So that's what we are doing here in this aspect. Input, managing those stuff like, this serial ser dot value. This methods basically send the values over network. That's all it is. So we are sending these flags over the network to the server, and then server, does what he has to do with them, calls the handle input flag, and tells the all clients to move forward, backward, or whatever. The thing is that you actually just imagine if you press W to walk forward, and your character moves forward, and after it sends some messages about movement to the server, then the other clients will see you with a delay. So basically, how we want everyone to have the same chances and have equal synchronization. They have to be synchronized. So obviously, to do this, you basically send the request to the server. Tell him, hey, I want to go forward. And then server says, okay, you can go forward. And he sends this message to everyone, all the clients, including yourself, and pushes your player forward. You understand? So that's the approach I was talking about. You have to think about both sides now. It's completely different than a single player. So basically, this is just a handling flags, sending them over, calling handle input flag change. Okay, that's it. Then we are also sending look orientation over the network. So this is just a rotation of the player and stuff. Okay, as you know probably already this function. Oh, this is loud. They both call. Okay, look orientation. So it basically is responsible for rotating player and stuff, and animations as well. So let's get back into this function. So we're gonna send also this rotation over, and end group return true because it's boolean, so we have to return something. And we're gonna go further with this. For now, we're gonna leave everything as it is. We're just gonna go into here. As I said, we're gonna have to call this function because we made this function, so it has to be called somewhere. We wanna create another possibility of handling events here. 64. Entity event net become entity eve and okay, I fucked up. Entity event net become local player. This is called when obviously you are not server. So we wanna just copy this. Okay, what this actually gonna do is just local player initialize. Okay, so when you become a player, local player on the server, I mean whatever, you become a client on server, and you are not a server yourself, but you are client of the server, then this is gonna be called, and initialization of this is gonna happen only on your PC, and I mean and on everyone's PC, but pretty much like, you know, this is gonna be called only on your object and on your PC. So basically you are handling your own camera and your own inputs. Nobody else can do this. And this is initialized on both server and client side, and this is client side only. Now we have to change a little bit inside the update functions. I mean the order of the updating, or not even really order, but you know. Okay. Some of those have to be called on server only, some of them have to be called only on the client side, and some of them have to be called only on, I mean on both even. So from what I know, update movement request has to be called on server only. That's how we separate them. Okay. The reason why is, as I said, you wanna send a flag from flag input change to the server, and then servers as a answer he gives this movement to the players. So you don't want to move on your PC, you want to receive this movement from server in order to be obviously synchronized with the other players. Update look direction request is player only. This refers pretty much to your look direction. So this is only client. As you can see, this is server, and here it means none. So I mean like not server, yeah. So only client. Update animation is gonna happen on both sides. Although we're gonna go into this and separate some things. as well. And here, update camera is it's only client side, so also non-server. Let's see further on. That's pretty much it. I'm gonna go now to the. Actually, wait. I can save this. Okay. What we're gonna do now? We're gonna call first of all. We have to actually tell our PC that you actually send this request. We want to send this request to the server, right? So, in order to do this, give me a second. The way you call aspects is we're gonna be calling them here on our client side. When we change the flags, you press forward, backward, or something. Then you wanna send these flags when they're already properly prepared to the server from client. That's why we're gonna separate it and make sure that this is only client side, and that's the function to mark your aspect dirty, and that's how it goes. Net mark aspect dirty, and then you pass your aspect into this. So basically what it says, you press forward or something, this is called flags are assigned, and it says, hey, I'm marking this aspect dirty, which means I'm requesting server to give me some movement that I request. And what kind of movement you request, it's all defined within the aspect and sent in here. You see, this aspect is marked as dirty. It passes to this function that's serialized, and it serializes the flags, the orientation, and all that stuff. Cool. So now pretty much we can try to save it and compile. Okay, it compiled fine. I'm gonna go and run the dedicated server. What I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna just add another small screen in here so you can see. Not like that. Damn it. I wasn't supposed to do this. So what you're actually gonna do, we're gonna see this stuff in here. I know it's small, but you know. I'm gonna run it now and see what happens. So in order to connect to the server, local server, which is this one here, it's on the same computer like I'm recording this, so you can't be connecting with the IP. You just go connect. And what it's gonna do is just connect you to the local server. For some reasons it crashed, it didn't want to connect me to the server. Try again. Nope, something is definitely wrong, so we're gonna go in here and look once again into this. I changed that in here. Okay, something else in here. We want actually to be every player to be called differently, so they can't have the same name, all of them. So in order to do this, you're just gonna go in here, let's call it as name. basically what it does is, wait a second. So basically what it does is it let's call it maybe player. What it does is assigns number at the end of player. So you connect, you're gonna be player 0. Another guy is gonna be player 1, player 2, player 3, based on the player's amount on the server. Yep. So it's gonna go here once again. Let's see why we couldn't connect to the server. Oh yeah, I see. Very important thing is that normally the player component is invisible for the editor, and it doesn't have this functions that registrate it. If you don't know what I'm doing now, actually I showed what that is in my previous videos. It registered the pretty much component registrator. We couldn't connect probably because the dedicated server couldn't recognize our component. It has to be over here with your class and registrate function that is automatically registered within the system, so you know, the server can see it. If you get in red over here, it means that you need schematic, what's called environment, I guess, element, and yep, and environment component. It's probably, yes, it works. So gonna make sure everything is fine. Okay, so I'm gonna compile it now. This video is taking really long now, but I'm gonna see once again if we can connect to our server at all. I'm gonna move it to the other screen. Launch the game. So yeah, this was because probably we didn't initialize this, we didn't register the component. So now I am connected with the local server. Remember that when you are having server on the same network like you are trying to connect, you won't be able to connect using your IP, blah blah blah. You're gonna be able to connect only to the local host. So yeah, I'm gonna move it aside and see if the other players can also connect to the server, and if we're gonna be able to see each other and stuff. It might crash, but we will see. I'm gonna go connect here. Okay, it crashed. Let's see why it crashed. Let's close the server and stuff and go once again into here. So we're gonna just make sure that all components are okay. I see. Basically, let's try to separate this, because update camera sometimes fails when the update is called earlier than. Yes, the first update is called earlier than this event. That's why instead of doing this, you can just go simply and say, hey, we will update the camera when the camera is ready. Yeah, so when the pointer is valid, then we're gonna update the camera for the first time. It's simply because this is called first. Update is called earlier than this event, most likely. I'm gonna run the server again, and I'll run the other screen as well, so you can see. Okay, launch the game over here. Okay, I'm connected. I'm gonna move it aside, just like before, and open up the other instance. If it crashes once again, it means that we are having trouble with the pointers. That some of the pointers are, being called before they are initialized, and they are null pointers in the end. Okay, so I was able to connect to the server, although we can't see each other, and now we're gonna figure out why. Okay, this guy is over here. Oh, did we connect? Let's see again. Let's see what happens. We can't see each other. Okay, not a big deal. We're gonna fix it. We're gonna just make sure that we're just gonna make sure that all of our stuff is properly prepared in here. So this is cool. And we're gonna go in here. See what happens here. We're gonna make sure that that these pointers are valid. So damn it! I would have crashed, but so make sure that these pointers are valid. They don't point to null. Fine. Let's see what happens here. Now let's look into this. Let's initialize in here. So that should be alright. Character file, and then we are reviving him. Okay, that should be alright. Not sure why this is failing. So firstly we're gonna try to connect with it from that one. Okay, this one got connected properly. Yep. So we're gonna try to connect from here now. Okay, so you know, we had to make sure that the pointers are properly prepared. So the reason why the position is not properly sent over the network, I mean it is, it just, the reason is that everyone has to send his position. We pretty much send the position only when we press forward, backward or something, yeah? Also rotation. So basically when I rotate on the place, as you can see, the other player can't see it. It's because we don't call anything, any aspect while we are rotating. I'm gonna just show you why and how this works. It's over here. When we press forward, backward or something, then where the hell was that? Then this is called, yeah, it's calling handle input flag change. It means that the aspect is marked dirty, which is, you know, you are sending the flags over the network, and also rotation. That's why rotation works when you are walking. But now we want to also mark the same, we're gonna use the same aspect. Or actually no, we can, why not, we can create another one. EA game client, let's do the same D maybe, whatever. Okay. Not sure if this will work actually with this, but we will see if we can use the same or the different one. Okay, so we're gonna add another aspect over here. Let's write it. Movement. Sorry, no, it was called K rotation aspect. What we're gonna do is pretty much and we're gonna serialize value M, look orientation, okay, I'm just gonna copy this because that's a pain in the ass. This is rotation basically. Also we're gonna put let's put it in the top maybe. CRYELOG always client is rotating, so it should be seen in the console. We're gonna also mark this aspect as dirty. When we rotate, we actually rotate when we are over here. That's the point where we are rotating our player. Mouse rotation, pretty much. I put it like this to make it, you know, look nicer. And now we're gonna go net mark aspect 30, and I'm gonna K rotation aspect. I don't know why it didn't show up, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so whenever you move around, slide your mouse, it's gonna keep sending this aspect to the network, to the server and stuff. So let's build it, see what happens. Honestly, I never tried it this way. I usually use the same aspect for movement and for rotation, so I'm actually kind of learning now if we can separate them from each other. Okay, server is standing. Just run the game. This video is already long, like, I don't know how long is it? 46 minutes. Oh damn it! And this is not the end. We're gonna be going also over the RMIs. RMIs, sorry. Let's connect now. RMIs are pretty much the alternative system for the aspects. The aspects are, as I said, they are used for the fluent sending data, large amounts of data, like these positions, rotations, and stuff. Whereas RMIs are sent for as a single impulses. So you can call the methods or functions on the other clients or on server using this. It's very useful if you want to create, for example, an inventory system or something, a loot system that you are going against someone. I mean, you want to pick something up, or you're picking up the objects and stuff like this. So this is very useful. RMIs are pretty much always used for this. So my aspect is not being called because I can't see any messages. Not sure why, but still, as I said, I'm learning, so don't know how this is related to my aspect. Yeah, I don't know how this is related to my aspect. If I copy this and go K rotation aspect, probably gonna call me and say, hey, this is redefined function. Yeah. Not sure why this works like that, but I'm gonna figure out and let you know. For now, we're gonna use the same aspect, so we're gonna go K movement aspect. Okay, so yep. Now we're gonna just compile it and run it once again. So the other our players will be rotating. Oh yeah. Get rid of that guy here. Why the hell? Okay, I must have closed the server. Alright, so launch the server once again. Did it compile it all? Yes, it did. Oh yeah. So I can put the server aside as always and run the game. I'm already tired of doing this 50 minutes video and still not the end. Let's go say connect to the server now. Move it aside. Okay guys, our guy is here. Launch another game instance. So as you can see, I'm rotating on the place. and the other player can see me rotated. So yeah, that's pretty much it. There is still this issue that when I join the game, the other player is like, on different place than he should be. But I think we can fix it in the next video. So yeah, in the next video I'm gonna show you how to use RMIs on the network. So we're gonna be able to shoot these. As you can see, one player can see these bullets coming out of the gun, and this one can't see it. So we're gonna just fix this and say, hey, I want to shoot or something. We're gonna create a RMI requests to the server, and then he's gonna be calling this on all clients. So see you in the next video. I hope you liked it and enjoyed.